ACCA Practice to Pass Webinars Day 2. And I'm your tutor Haris Hanif. Today is day 2 of the webinar and today is 18th of August 2020. And I will be starting this webinar from the area which we had ended yesterday in the day 1. We had discussed about return on investment and the residual income. I hope you people remember all these elements. ROI versus RI, which one is better? RI is a long-term KPI because it does consider the interest of the finance providers, and ROI ignores the interest of the finance providers, and so it's a dysfunctional behavior and a short-term concern. Now, today I will be resuming from the question, which is lens company, which you people are having this question, December 2016, lens company. First of all, we should read the requirement, and this is a CRQ which I had copied from December 2016 past exam paper of ACCA. Now students, this is requirement A worth 6 marks. Calculate ROI and RI for both the divisions. And obviously this is the numerical aspect and it is to be solved on the spreadsheet. And I will be using the ACCA CBE platform so that you will be aware of that area as well. So I am resuming this question. I hope everything is fine and screen and my voice is all clear. My screen and voice is all clear, all of you. Please respond. All right. All right, that's very good. Now, students, for those students who had not my WhatsApp number, they can contact me at this number. Contact me at this number so that I can add you in my WhatsApp group. Now, let's resume this question. And I had read the requirement. We need to calculate ROI and RI for both the divisions. In yesterday, we had discussed that we need to take those figures over which managers has control. All right. So I am reading this question, and you people should pay your attention here. Lens company manufactures lenses for the use by a wide range of commercial customers. The company has two divisions, the P and O. Each of the division is run by the divisional manager who has overall responsibility for all aspects of running their division. Now see this, divisional manager who has overall responsibility for all the aspects of running their divisions. And the divisions are currently treated as an investment center. Each manager has an authorization limit of 15,000 per capital item, etc. During the year, head office made a decision. See this thing. Head office made the decision. Head office made the decision to sell a large amount of the equipment in division P and replace it with more technological advanced equipment. It also decided to close one of the division O factory in the country deemed to be politically unstable with the intention of opening a new factory elsewhere in the following year. Now students, see this, the area which is being covered by the blue color, these were the decisions which were taken by head office, which means that divisional managers had no influence on these decisions. All right, now continuing with the red marking, both divisions trade with overseas customers, choosing to provide these customers with 60 days credit to encourage sales. due to the difference in exchange rates between the time of invoicing, the customers receiving payment 60 days later, etc. And there is a cost of capital of 12%. Now this is division P and division O. See, this is the net divisional profit. Obviously, these figures might have some element on those figures which are not controllable by the divisions, and so we need to adjust the profits as we did in yesterday class. See this example, we did adjusted the net profit and we reached at that profit which are purely controllable by the divisional manager. And so just look at the figures. See, revenue. We will be taking the revenue figures obviously because it is the operating matter of the division to generate the revenue. We will be taking this figure. Gain on sale of equipment. No, we will not take this figure. Why? Because it was the head office decision to sell large amount of equipment, because this is the division, this is the decision taken by the head office, and the decision which were taken by the head office should not be included in the assessment of the division, obviously because this is the decision which is totally out of control by the division. All right, so we will not take these figures. And next we will be taking material figure, labor figure and material figure, yes. And in overheads figures they had made a small star, which means that something is questionable here. And at the last thing, see this thing, depreciation on uncontrollable assets included in divisional overheads, which means 320 and 460. This is included in this area and this should not be included. Why? Because these are the depreciations. These are the depreciation on uncontrollable assets included in the divisional overheads. Now the assets are not controllable by the division and we will not take these figures. We have to take those figures over which the divisional manager has some influence. Now, friends, this is the ACCA platform which I had opened yesterday as well. And see this, my cursor. I'm moving here, navigator. You can now jump towards the spreadsheet element. See, this is the spreadsheet element and I'm adjusting my window according to my convenience. And here we need to apply the formula. I encourage all of you to just see this screen. Try to understand the things. This is the formula bar where the formula will be visible. And I encourage all of you just to look at the screen if you are having a computer in front of you and if this area is opened, so I will encourage to copy there. Otherwise, not a big issue. I will share this thing on WhatsApp group as well. So first of all, we need to adjust the net profit and we will take the revenue figure. Yes, we will take the labor figure. Yes, material figure. Yes, but we will not take the gain on sale of equipment. Why? Because this is the decision which is not taken by the division. This is the decision which had been taken by the head office. All right, so see this thing, what am I doing? I wrote, okay, let me zoom. This is division, this is division P, this is division, okay, I'm leaving one column and coming towards D, division O. All right, so I think I should move one area. Okay, now see, I'm writing revenue, I'm writing gain on sale of equipment, and I will not be writing any figure instead of putting up 0. That's it. All right. Now, students, you should be familiar with how to apply the formulas on the spreadsheet, and that see, I'm doing it zoom out for some reason. Okay, this is what you can do. See this area. See this my cursor. You can align in a center. I prefer select all the rows and see this cursor here. You will be finding the values in the middle of the cell. Now revenue figure. What was the revenue figure? That's 14,000, and for division O it was 18,800. Gain on sale of equipment? Simply no. No. You can write it's head office matter. So simple. Write head office matter. That's it. Next, are we going to deduct the are we going to deduct the labor expense, the material expense? The answer is yes, because these are the operational matters of the division. 2400, 3500. Labor cost 2400 and 3500. All right. Then material cost 4800 and 6500. 4800 and 6500. Now see this divisional overhead figure 3800 and 5200. I already covered that point which was written at the last of this page, and that is 3800 and 5200. See this yellow marked figures. Depreciation on uncontrollable assets included in that divisional overheads, which means 320 is already included. It should not be included. Why? Because these are the depreciation on uncontrollable assets. These are something which is not controllable by the division. So what you need to do? 3800 minus 320 and 5200 minus this 460, this thing. But do not write the figures. Do not write the figures. Show this using the formula. Whenever you are about to calculate something, please do not calculate through your manual calculator and simply put up the figures. No, instead you have to show the formula. See, how am I doing? Is equal to 3800 minus 320, and I got 3480. I did not wrote 3480. It will not be markable. Why? Because you have to show how did you calculated that figure. So must use the formula, and see this, what am I doing is equal to 3800 minus 320. All right. Do not write the figures like that way. I will not I will not be using I will not be writing the figures directly. I will be calculating. How did I calculated that? Is equal to 3800 minus 320, and here 5200 minus 460 is equal to 5200 minus 460, and I got the answer 4740. If you want to write, you can. Excluding depreciation on uncontrollable assets. So simple. They will read. This is a spreadsheet. It will be spreaded. Okay. So then we are moving towards the next figure. And the next figure is, we have to reach at the net profit, but that should be the controllable figures. Exchange gain or loss. Come on, come to the question box, chat box. Should we take these figures? Just say yes or no. Should we take these figures? Gain on exchange gain or loss. Few people are saying yes, few are saying no. But we have to take these figures. Why? Now stop commenting. We have to take these figures. We have to take these figures. We have to take these figures. Why? Now I am explaining the reason. Now see what is written here in this paragraph. What is, you people might argue that exchange gain or loss is a matter of an economical concern and we cannot be able to control the economical element. You are right at your part. But see, it was my decision. It was the divisional decision to trade with the overseas customers. For example, if I had got the opportunity to deal with the overseas customers, and if I will deal them, naturally I will be facing gain or loss. If I will not select that decision, I will not be facing that gain or loss. So it is only about the decision and the after effects of the decision. Now see what is written: both divisions trade with overseas customers, choosing to provide these customers with 60 days credit. It means that selling to the foreign customers or overseas customers were the decision of the divisions. If the divisions might not have selected that decision, not that option, they will not be facing these gain or loss, because it was the decision of division to trade with overseas customers. This is not something which is an economical. Obviously you are right at your part, but it is something that decision. Think if the divisional managers might not be dealing with these overseas customers, they would not be facing these kind of exchange gain or loss. It is only because of the decisions that they had made. So naturally we have to take these figures: minus 200 and 460. uh, Gain slash loss, sorry, exchange gain slash loss. What is the figure? 200. Simply write the figure 200. Okay, no need to because this will be minus. No, just do it as a red color so that you people can remember that this is something which is negative. This is something which is negative. If you want to make a differentiate between the figures, okay. If not, then it's up to your discretion. Next, exchange gain. This is 460. 460. All right. We will be using the formula to add or minus. Now, these are two other figures: exceptional closure cost for factory and allocated head office cost. Now, tell me, should we take these figures in the comment box? Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Make this session interactive. Should we take these last two figures? No. Very good. Excellent. Very good, excellent. All of you are giving the equal response that we should not take these figures. Why? Because these are the figures which are totally uncontrollable by the divisional managers. And these are the figures which had been influenced by the decision of head office. Okay, so just write the name, factory closure cost, and head office cost. 0, 0, 0, and again 0. And if you people want to write, you can write HO matter. HO matter. Now so simple. Now your profit is adjusted here. Now what you are supposed to do, this is something loss and this figure is the gain. Okay, here I'm writing this is gain and this is something, this 200 figure is something which is loss, so that I may be able to differentiate it. Okay, this is gain and this is loss. If you people want to amend something, you can double click here. You can double click in this cell to amend anything and use your cursor and use your keyboard or mouse cursor to move right and left. Okay, so this will be the controllable profit. All right, I'm highlighting this, I'm bolding this with red color. Now what I need to do, just look at the screen very carefully. I'm doing is equal to, select this cell, minus, select this cell, minus, select this cell, minus, select this cell, minus, select this cell, enter. I will receive 3120. Now there is a big mistakes which many of the students made, um, which uh, uh, which they should not have to make. Simply they are writing 3120. No, it will not give you any mark. You have to show this calculation by applying the formula. What am I doing? See this once again. Is equal to, pick up the revenue figure by using my I'm using my mouse. Okay, 1400, then minus labor cost, minus material cost, minus overhead cost, minus exchange loss. See, the colors are also getting changed at every cell, and enter. This is the controllable profit, and similarly is equal to this cell, revenue cell, minus this cell, minus this cell, minus overheads, and plus this gain. You have to plus this thing, and it is 4520. Now this is something which I had calculated. This is a controllable profit by the divisions. All right, I am then moving. Now see students, it is totally up to your discretion whether you want to spread it horizontally or vertically or horizontally. Now it is totally up to your discretion. What I am doing, I prefer to spread it vertically or horizontally. That's totally up to your discretion, but I prefer to move around in a horizontal manner. Fine. Now this is something which are the controllable profits by the division. Okay, now we need to adjust the capital figure as well. See, these are the figures for the capital, and yesterday I did taught that capital is calculated as total asset less current liabilities. Total asset less current liabilities. Now division P, division O, these are the assets, and these are the liabilities. See, overdraft and trade payables, these are the current liabilities, and these are total assets. But see this figure, non-current asset controlled by head office. We will not take these figure only. Why? Because everything is controllable, but these figures are not controllable. It is clearly mentioned that these are the non-current assets which are controlled by the head office. We need to take only those figures which are controllable by the divisions. We will not take these yellow marked figure, and we will calculate every figure which are controllable by the division. Okay, so NCA controlled by the division, which is 15,400, that is total asset less current liabilities. Total asset less current liabilities. I am spreading this sheet on the right side. Division, okay, something on the right side. This is something division P and division O. NCA by division. No need to use the too detailed narration. NCA by division, simple. Then NCA by head office. We will write 0 here, 0 here, and I did recommend select this and place the figures in the middle of the cell. NCA by HO. All right. Now I'm placing the figures 15,400, 15,400, and here 20700. Now what is the next figure? That is trade inventories and trade receivable. 1800, 3900. 1800 and 3900. Inventories. 1800 and 3900. And next receivable 6200, 6200 and 8900. All right, these are something which are controllable assets. All right, controllable assets. And then I am moving towards next figures, and these are liabilities. These are liabilities. These are liabilities. 500 and 0, this is overdraft, and this is trade payables. Overdraft and payables. Now what I'm doing, I'm just differentiating using red color because these are the liabilities. Overdraft is 500 and 0. Payables are 5100 and 7200. We can say this is the controllable capital. Controllable capital. All right. So you can adjust these cells by placing your mouse between K and L. It will be shaped, the shape will be changed, and you can adjust like that way. All right. Now, what is the formula to calculate the capital? Total asset less current liabilities. See, I'm using the very basic formula is equal to select the first cell plus select this plus select 6200. Now minus all the red marked figures minus this. This is the capital 17,800, and here is equal to this plus 3,900 plus 8,900 minus 7,200 cell. You need to select the cell, and I got 26,300 controllable capital. Now now see another important tip. See another important tip. This is the controllable profit. This is the controllable profit. And this is controllable capital. Controllable capital. Students, try to link. Try to link the cell. Try to link the cell. See how. I am writing here. I am writing here ROI. I am writing here ROI because the figures are all in front of me. The figures are all visible to me. I will be using this figure and this figure. Now, how will I calculate that? Simply, I am writing ROI. Now, see what am I doing? ROI. You need to calculate ROI for division P and division O. See here. This is my final answer. ROI. What you are supposed to do? How did you calculate? ROI is equal to profit, the profit cell divided by, use your slash, divided by the capital cell, multiply by 100, enter. You receive this percentage. Okay, and now see the next is equal to, select this cell. Don't need to, you are not supposed to write the figures. Just select the cell. This is called the cell linking. Now doing it once again is equal to this cell slash, use the slash button, slash this capital, multiply by 100. This is yet my ROI. All right, this is my ROI. Then I need to calculate the residual income. How will I calculate the residual income? It's again the simple thing. Now there is no need to write the percentage sign. Just you can use ROI and in bracket show like that way. ROI percentage. Now the examiner will understand. Okay. So this is the trick to apply the formula, and the question also asks to calculate RI for both the divisions. For both the divisions, RI, we need to calculate RI as well. So how do you calculate RI? RI is simply, remember, PBIT less notional interest, and that is capital, multiply by cost of capital, and you will receive RI figure. Okay, and what is the cost of capital that is mentioned in the question? That is 12%. Now see, how am I calculating RI? RI. There is a very simple trick to apply the formula. See here, I am writing is equal to, then I am selecting this profit figure minus bracket open. What am I doing? First of all, I will show you in a rough manner so that you will be able to better understand what I'm actually doing. See, RI. This is profit minus capital multiplied by 12%, isn't it? What is the capital figure? Whatever the capital figure is. So is equal to, I will be using this thing, and then I will press enter. The RI figure will come to me. See how is equal to, I am selecting this profit figure minus, then bracket open. Then I am going towards the capital figure and multiply 0.12. Multiply 0.12. Then I'm closing this bracket. Enter. I receive 984. I received 984 as a residual income. You can see here in the formula bar. You can see here in the formula bar as well. Okay. Now, the RI for the division O is, I am calculating is equal to the profit minus bracket open, and then I am selecting this capital figure multiply by 0.12 bracket close, and coming back here pressing enter, I receive RI. You can adjust your window according to your convenience. So this is what I had calculated on a spreadsheet on ACCA CBE platform. I encourage all of you to use this spreadsheet at your home as well for your self practice. Okay, this is RI which I had calculated, and you people should not worry about the thing. I will convert this file in a normal Excel sheet, then I will pass on it to you in the WhatsApp group. Okay, what's the next requirement? Discuss the problems of ROI to measure the performance of a manager and explain why RI is said to be the goal congruent KPI. Remember this theoretical aspect which I had taught you in yesterday class. Discuss the problems of ROI and explain why RI is said to be the goal congruent KPI. Now students, I will be typing this thing, which is part B of Lens Company, part B Lens Company, which is ROI and RI. Students, see this thing. We had a discussion in yesterday class that RI only looks at your internal performance, and a manager will not be encouraging to increase the capital base as it will reduce ROI. So these are the problems which we need to discuss. Now, what is the exact requirement of the question? Discuss the problems of ROI. I'm typing it in a fast manner because we had covered this points yesterday class, and so I'm typing in a fast manner. Okay, so ROI is a ROI is a generally used KPI to assess the performance of a division, but it does have side effects as well, and that is it does not take into account the interest of finance providers, but measures the performance only measures the performance by looking at the own profit and comparing it with the capital, and ignoring the interest of finance providers may be problematic in the longer run, because see, when you ignore something you will take the decision accordingly, because the ignorance of finance providers interest will switch the thinking towards decision making only for self benefit, and that manager in charge of a division may even not encourage the additional capital investment may not encourage the additional capital investment because it will increase the capital base and reducing ROI, thus affecting his own performance. And so ROI is said to be the short-term KPI and a dysfunctional behavior. On the other hand, residual income, which is RI, on the other hand, which is residual income RI, does consider the interest of finance providers, and that decision making will be in line with the meeting of their interest, and then measures what the residual balance is left for the benefit of the company. And in addition, the concept of RI is in line with time value of money. Why? Because that the cost of capital, remember that the cost of capital is sometimes used as a discounting factor, and when the cost of capital will be reduced, discount factor will be reduced, the NPV and the residual income will shoot up, is in line with time value of money and NPV, as both RI and NPV prefers the low cost of capital to add value in the company, and hence RI is said to be the goal congruent performance measure. See students, this is my answer of part B, and that is enough for 6 marks. What basically I did, I already taught this thing in yesterday class. What I did, I just used helping verbs which helped me to complete these sentences. So last lecture slides I had already shared with you people, and these are the things which I had only combined to make this paragraph. I hope this is well understood to all of you. Students, give me your response on this question. And you understand all the things? Understand all the things, excuse me, students. Understand all the things? Yes, you can write a short termism. Okay, that's very good. You can use the short term word here, ROI. You can use here, ROI is the short term KPI. And at last, you can write RI is the long term KPI. Students, this is the answer of this thing. If you people want, you can capture this answer. You can capture this answer through your mobile phones. I'm just waiting 30 seconds. Okay, I hope you people had done this thing. Now, students, we will be taking a very short break. Namaz. It's a namaz and prayer break for us, and only 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes to offer Maghrib prayer. This is 7:40, and I will be resuming at exactly 7:50. Okay, after 10 minutes. Now go and offer Maghrib prayer. I will be resuming, and today's agenda is the models of performance measurement. Okay, we are back. From the Maghrib Namaz break, and now I am resuming this webinar. Students, all set? Excuse me. Type in the chat box, all set, all of you? My voice, my screen, all set. Okay, now let's move on with the performance measurement models. Now see what is written. This is a performance measurement models, and by applying these models, we will be in a position to assess the performance. Now see the students, the theme is all clear as we did yesterday. If any of the student missed yesterday day one webinar, that is available in ACCA portal. There's an ACCA video library on Vimeo. The link will be shared later on. I'm repeating once again, this is my number, and I might not be responding during this webinar to you people since I'm receiving a lot of messages, and I will be responding later on. Note this, my number on WhatsApp. You can contact me, and I will be adding you people in the WhatsApp group which I have created. All right, so this is the number. Note this thing. Okay, now this is performance measurement models, and this is balance scorecards, building block model, and value for money. Now, what is the expectation of these models? Then using these models, you have to apply these models to assess the given case study. Now the case study, uh, the the way to handle the case study is same as we did in the last day one. All right, so now this is the balance scorecard. Balance scorecard, as its name implies, it is a balance of financial and non-financial aspects. Now do remember these things. These are four KPIs. No, these are not four KPIs. These are four not KPIs. These are four perspectives. These are four perspectives, just like four pillars of a chair, and each perspective has its own KPI. Okay, people usually confuse here. These are not the KPIs. These are the four perspective: financial, customer perspective, process efficiency perspective, learning innovation, and growth perspective. And remember, each perspective has two things. Number one, objective, and number two is KPI. KPI is an important thing. That is a key performance indicator. Objective means what's your aim, and KPI means assessment assessment whether the objective is achieved or not. And I already taught this thing in the last class. All right, so those students who are getting confused that they had not attended yesterday's session, no need to worry about it. It is publicly available, and I will be sharing the link later on. Okay, now balance scorecard. We have got four perspective to assess the performance. Now see, number one is the financial perspective. Financial perspective has its objective. Now what is the objective? Assume yourself as the owner of the organization. What will you be expecting? What is your expectations? What are your objectives? My objective is to make money. My objective is to make money. My objective is to increase my cash flow. My objective is to increase my profits. These are the financial perspective objectives. All right, now KPI means, what's the KPI? KPI means assessment whether objective is achieved or not. Now what do you how will you measure it? How will you measure these objectives? Sir, I will measure, the simple answer is through financial ratios. Through what? Financial ratios, like gross profit, like return on investment, like net profit, like asset turnover, I will use this profitability financial ratios in order to measure my performance, in order to check whether my desired objectives had been achieved or not. All right. So this is the financial perspective. How will you assess the performance? Using the key financial ratios. Okay. Then we are moving towards the next perspective, that is a customer perspective. Remember these words, remember my words. This is not the customer, this is the perspective, customer perspective. And what are your objective of company, objective of company? My objective, simple. My objective as a profitable organization, what I want, everybody wants to have more customers. To have what? More customers. Everybody want this. Every profitable organization prefer to have more and more customers. Now, what will be your next objective? I want, there's the objective of the company. I want maximum customers. I want customer retention. I want customers retention. What I want new customers. I want new customers. Now, how will I measure? How will I measure whether I had achieved my objective or not? I will measure through percentage of retention. I will calculate percentage of retention. All right. I will calculate what? The percentage of retention. I will calculate percentage of new customers. I will calculate percentage of new customers. That is how many customers, that is how many customers I had attracted from the last year. Now that is the measurement criteria, and that is the objective of the organization. All right. How will I measure my performance? How will I measure my performance from the customer angle? I might be using the reviews, or you can say feedbacks. Now that will give me my performance results. What is my performance? I had discussed two things. Number one is financial, and number two is customer perspective. Number three, yes, it is a very important thing, which is internal process efficiency perspective. This is the internal process efficiency perspective. From the internal perspective, I want that my management strengths to be high. I want to increase my plus points. I want to reduce my weak points. That is internally, how am I strong? Internally, that is our organization perspective. Now, how will I measure my performance internally? If I will be performing well internally, then naturally my waste percentage will be low. Naturally my delivery will be fast. Naturally my delivery time period will be fast. Now assessment, what percentage you deliver late, what percentage you delivered on time. This is what your internal perspective. Just look around your in your surroundings. There is a courier company who is delivering late. You will be saying that the service is poor, they are not internally competent. Basically, I want to improve my competency. All right. How will I measure? I can measure idle time percentage. I can measure accident rates. Accident means the mishap in any organization. Accident rates. rejection rates, etc. This is something which shows how internally strong you are. When you will measure this thing, when you will measure this thing, that will be the crystal clear performance whether or not you are performing well. Number four, number four, learning, innovation, and growth perspective. Now, this is something which is related to the learning of staff, learning of staff, and if the staff will be trained, they will innovate. Innovate means something new, something new, something new. And when the staff will be champion, they will be able to innovate something, and ultimately my company will face the growth. This I want. Look, I want to have a very trained staff. I want to have new products and services. I want the company growth. This is my objective from learning, innovation, and growth perspective. All right. Now, how will I measure the performance? How will I measure the performance? Sir, the simple answer is percentage of revenue from new service, number of new products or service. If you had launched something new, that is what is the success rate of innovative product or services. This is something which is the measurable KPI. All right. So students, I am giving once again a very quick recap of all these four perspectives, and then we will be starting our CRQ, and the questions are attached. You can see at right side of your computer screen. There are many options, and one option is handouts. You can click on the handouts and you can download the files. I will be starting with People Bank question, People Bank, and it is in bracket written BSc, Balance Scorecard. Now students, I am again giving a very quick recap of all these four things so that we will be starting our performance measurement model. Look, Balance Scorecard considers four elements. Financial, customer, internal, and innovation and growth. How will you measure financial aspect? Through financial ratios. How will you measure the customer perspective? Customer retention, customer complaint, customer feedback, percentage of new customers, percentage of retention, etc. How will you measure the process efficiency? That is how internally strong you are. How internally strong company is. Now we can see the delivery, we can see the delivery time, wastage, idle time, accident rates, rejection rates, etc. And the last, fourth perspective, learning, innovation, and growth, which means what is the success rate of the innovative products. All right. Now we are in a position to start a CRQ, but just look at this slide, then it's the time for CRQ next. Note, different KPIs contradict with each other. Obviously, yes. See how. Example, if you want to achieve customer perspective, if you want to make your customers happy, if I want to make customers happy, what I need to do? It's so simple. I have to lower my selling price. I will have to provide them good quality. When I will do this, my customer perspective will be achieved. But by lowering the price, financially, the profits would be low. See, the KPIs contradict with each other, which means you cannot take 100% KPIs to measure the performance because you will be confused. That's a very complex using all KPIs because they are contradicting with each other. So that is why it is written there should be limited number of KPIs so that there may be less contradiction and that performance can be measured with ease. You can easily compare the performance by taking limited number of KPIs. Select few KPIs which are too much important, not take all the KPIs because you will be confused. From one perspective, you will be performing well and one area will be affecting. Just I wrote here, if you will do this, you will be achieving customer perspective. You will be achieving customer perspective. You will be achieving that objective, but financially you will suffer. The profits will be low. Why? Because lowering the selling price will give you the low profits. All right. Now these are the four perspectives, and now it's time for CRQ CBE platform of ACCA. I will be opening this question, and the question name is balance scorecard. That's people bank question. Student, this is a past paper question named people bank. This is a recent past paper, people bank. Please download this file from the attached files here. You can download these files. People bank. And it is not wise to start the question right from the start. Always start the question by reading the requirements first. Now students, see, this is a 16 marks requirement and you have got four perspective learning. These are the four perspectives and the data is given. I will be typing my assessment on CBE platform of ACCA so that you will be in a position to see how the platform works. This is 16 marks and there are four perspectives. So naturally 4 marks for each perspective. Always look at the marking scheme. Judge how the answers will be marked. You will be able in a position by looking at the marking scheme and the marks. These are 16 marks and 16 marks, 16 marks, and there are four perspectives, so means 4 4 and 4 for each perspective, and you have to write sufficiently according to gain the 4 marks. All right, now this is the people bank question, and are you ready guys? Are you ready guys for this question? Hurry up, come on. Are you ready? Okay, Mr. Azhar Abbas and all the other students uh, who are asking me for the WhatsApp group, just drop your message on my WhatsApp number. Just drop your message on my WhatsApp number. I will be adding you in the WhatsApp group. No need to worry about. Okay, this is my number. Just drop your concern that you want to join in a WhatsApp group. Okay, now, excuse me, now it's time for CRQ CB platform of ACCA, and this is my lens company answer. I will be sharing with you people later on. This is my lens company answer, which we did on CBE platform of ACCA on the spreadsheet. And now students, I am using this navigator, C navigator, and I will be opening first word processing. Okay, word processing. This is the thing. All right, this is my question, and the question name is People Bank. I am writing balance scorecard. Obviously the fonts are may not be visible to you people. I will have to zoom. I think it is now visible to all of you. It is now visible to all of you. Okay, now you can adjust your computer screen as you are now familiar with the ACCA CBE platform. Okay, now People Bank balance scorecard. Now, what is the requirement first? We had not yet gone through the requirement. Excuse me, students. Just leave everything and focus on the requirement. I did say in my first session, once the requirement is understood, it is half solved. Remember these golden words. When the requirement is understood, it is half solved. That what you are being asked. Just see, using all the information provided, and in the last session, I opened the examiner's report, and the examiner's complaints are people are not calculating the percentages, not linking with the scenario. Do not advise. Remember, students, do not advise. You are not supposed to give the advice. The writing technique I had discussed in yesterday's session, using all of the information provided, including People Bank vision and values, including People Bank vision and values, discuss the performance of People Bank in 2006. Discuss the performance. Now, students, see what I taught you in my yesterday's session, that while you assess the performance, write matter, write percentage, ratio, which is a must requirement, of to calculate ratio, and always use word maybe. The possible reasons, people fail to write that possible reasons. If the performance is good, appreciate me. If performance is poor, then give me warning. Sir, your performance is poor, the company is getting in a poor direction. Warn. But 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 do not give advice. Don't advise. It is not being asked. We already uh, covered this yesterday. Okay, already done in the last session. This is something which is matter. Sorry, this is something which is matter, ratio, the reasons, good or poor, whatever. I mentioned in the last class. Just answer the following question. What happened? Okay. Number two, why happened? What are the reasons? Number three, is it good? Is it poor? Just give the answers of these questions. The performance analysis will be covered. It's not a big deal. Come on. If you will understand it difficult, it is difficult. If you take it reasonable, that is reasonable for you. It all depends on your perception, how you perceive the data. Now, that was something motivational words. Now I am starting with the case study. Just waiting for 5 seconds. If anyone wants to capture this, he or she can. One, two, 3, 4, and 5. Now, students, this is now the time comes for the CRQ, and here is the CRQ. Using all the information, including vision and values. Now, these are two different things, vision and values. Now, I am reading the question. You are now supposed to be fast and focus on the question. People Bank is a bank that is based bank. Yes, it's a service industry. Now the examiners questions are more tested on the service industry. From the recent past paper, it is evidenced that the examining team is examining the service industry more. Okay, anyways, coming to the point, the People Bank based in the country, it has total 65 branches across the country and also offers online banking access to the service via computer and telephone banking, that is access to the services agents over the telephone to its customers. That is simply a bank which has got 65 branches and it is providing the services on telephone as well as online banking, which is normal thing which we are facing in our routine lives. Recently, the People Bank also began. Now see the word also began. When I say I also started this thing, which means obviously I did started something new. So that means innovation something. Also began. Now see the word. It also began. I am saying I also started a new business, which means something new in my pocket. Okay. The word written is also. I just pick up the word. Okay. Also began offering its customers a range of mobile banking services. Now, what is mobile banking services? Which can be accessed from the customer's smartphones and tablet computers. Its customer base made up of both private individuals and business customers. Private individual like me, Haris Hanif. Business customers like, for example, the account of ACCA, that is an organization. Okay, the range of services it offers include current account, saving account, credit cards, business and personal loans, mortgages, which is normally the services provided by the bank. Now, this is not the complex case study. This is a simple bank which just had started the mobile banking services, which is accessible from the smartphones and tablet computers. Now, these are the generic services offered by the bank, which we are normally facing in our routine life. Now, that's the thing. The People Bank vision is to be the bank that give back to its customers. Now see their vision. Vision is something which you see for the future. The People Bank vision is to be the bank that gives back to its customers, and their purpose is to help the people and business of Nokri, this is the name of the country, to live better lives and achieve their ambitions. In order to achieve this, the bank the bank values values is something on which you are having your belief. For example, that I as a teacher value that a student learn by writing or typing the things. It is my values and beliefs. Okay. Now, see, the People Bank vision is to be the bank that gives back to its customers, and their purpose is to help people and the business. Now, help does not mean that it is giving the money to the society. Helping means that might be low interest rate. Help means might be low interest than the competitive banks. For example, if one bank is charging 10% interest rate, then People Bank might be charging 7% interest rate. This is obviously the help that is giving the discount on the selling price, and interest is the selling price of the bank. Interest is the selling price. Interest is the selling price of bank. Okay, don't be confused. People often confuse in the service industry. I said there's no need for confusion. In fact, I should say there is no space of confusion. in our understanding. So simple. There is no space of confusion. Keep the thing simple. Okay, next. What are their values? Putting customer need first, which involves anticipating and understanding customer needs and making products and services accessible to many customers as possible. The bank has recently invested in IT security to prevent fraud and also invested more services. Yes, and also invested more services accessible to disabled and visually impaired customers. Disabled and visually impaired. Visually impaired, those people who are suffering from the visionary problems and they cannot see the things clearly, and they have made something very easy for them. This is their values and belief as well. Okay, next, making the business simple. Just what I believe, keep the thing simple, which involves identifying the opportunities to simplify the activities and communicating clearly and openly, which means that their banking services are not too much complex. Simply the people will come, fill up the form, the account is open. So simple. Within seconds, within minutes, within a day, their banking service activities will be carried on. There is no complexity. Just I said, there is no complexity. Okay, and the last thing, making a difference to communities they serve, which involves primarily helping the disadvantaged people who are not getting advantage from the society. Now the bank is there to support the community and new home owners, but also supporting small and medium-sized business. Now see students, forget the case right now. Now look into the answer and just listen to my words. I am summarizing the story of this bank in a very simple words. Okay, now this is a people bank, obviously, that is existed to make money. Okay, now but the bank vision is this to help the people who are disadvantaged, who are visually impaired, and is to help to support the community by offering them slightly lower interest rate. Now this is the vision of the bank. All right. Now, simple, the story is there. Now, we are here to analyze the performance. Now, see what am I highlighting. Extracts from the People Bank's balance scorecard are shown below. This is 2006 actual. This is 2006 target, which means I can say that this is my comparator. This is something which is target. Now, look at the financial performance, and this is something. This is something. This is something the target 12 percentage, and in actual now see, you do not need to calculate the percentage. They have already supported you. They have already calculated the percentage, but somewhere where we need to calculate the percentage, we will. All right. Now the return on capital employed had fallen by only 1 percentage, and interest income exceeded the target by 0.5 million. And students, just calculate the percentage. 7.5 minus 7 divided by 7 multiplied by 100. It is increased by 7.1 percentage. The revenue in the interest income. Interest income is basically the sales of a bank. Now, see students, you need to analyze their performance. Now the ROI had fallen by 1 percentage. First of all, I will be discussing these two aspects. Okay. Now, see students, what am I doing? I am giving the heading of financial perspective. Financial perspective. Enter. Financial perspective. Okay, I will copy this thing on and will convert in PDF format and will be uh, giving to you later on. But first, look at the analytical skills and how to apply that skills. Financial perspective. See, my return on capital employed, ROCE, had deteriorated by just 1%, as the target was 13%, and it is not a severe problem and may be possible. Students, what I had mentioned, must write the reasons using what may be. Do not give the absolute statement. Just see, you have to answer certain things. What happened? The target was not met, sir. Why happened? Sir, because it may be possible that they have invested enough money in the IT server development, due to which capital base might have increased and reduced ROI. Oh, it may be the logical answer. Is it good or poor? So financially, it is not poor as such, but investing in IT security might be a betterment for the customers in terms of less chances of fraud, and that my vision will be achieved. What was the vision? In every answer, you need to connect with their vision and their values. Okay, so what am I writing? And it may be possible that due to investment in the IT area, comma, the capital base might had increased, which reduced, which due to which, sorry, due to which our OCE target was not met. And this is, no, you have written this is not a severe problem. Okay. And financially, if the target was not met, then due to the improved IT system, the customers are having the benefit of safe and secure services. All right. And that the bank is in line with its vision. See, I wrote the word vision because they asked me to do so in the question very clearly. In addition, the interest income sales for the bank. Interest income is the sale for the bank. In addition, the interest income had increased from, no, had increased by, sir, do we need to calculate the percentage? The answer is 100%. You need to calculate the percentage. Okay, percentage is must. I did I did say it last class as well, that this is the complaint of the examiner, that people are not calculating the percentage. Okay, now the interest income, in addition, the interest income had increased by 7.1 percentage. Now I prefer to show the calculation adjacent to the percentage. That is how 7.5 minus 7, bracket close, divided by 7, that is, and this is the good indicator which shows that more customers might had attracted due to the, probably due to the lower interest rate, since it was their vision to support the people. It was their vision to support the community. Full stop. Now see, I had covered 2 points, and there are further 2 points. I am removing all these markings so that we can totally focus on the highlighted area. See, their interest margin. Interest margin means net profit margin of bank. That is 2.5% was the target, and it is just a little away from the target. Why? Because it may be possible that due to the introduction of the IT facility, the routine maintenance cost might have increased. Either way, that is not a big issue. They are very close to the target, so we cannot say it is a good performance. It's not a it's a poor performance. We cannot say it's a poor. It's a just little away. Why? Because they have invested enough money in IT security, and it will increase obviously the routine maintenance cost. All right, and that amount of new lending to SME lending, that is the target was 150 million, and they had given 135 million. Financially, the bank intended to lend to SMEs is small and medium sized business. This is the thing, small and medium sized business. 150 was the target, means the bank intended to provide loan 150 million, but they had given 135 million. Now what may be the possible reason? It may be possible that the bank may lack finance, because it may be possible that the amounts which the bank had, they had invested in the IT technology, or even the SMEs might not had approached. It may be the possible reason. So the net profit margin of the bank is just a little away from the target, is just a little away from the target. The target was 2.5%, and actually they had achieved 2.4%. The little away from the target, that is 0.1% away, which is very close. No, don't write this thing. We written that 0.1% away, and maybe possible due to the introduction of IT security system, the operating expenses might have increased. Full stop. No, you can write which may be beneficial to make the system more safe for customers. In addition, the amount lending to SME, the amount lending to SME were also away from target, and that, what was the percentage? Students, you need to calculate the percentage. Okay, whenever you see the figures, convert into percentage. By how many percent this is away from the target? I am calculating by myself. 150 minus 135 divided by 150. That is 10% away from the target. What may be the possible reason? Now see, is also away from the target, that is 10% away. Bracket 150 minus 135, bracket close, divided by 150. All right. And possibly the bank may lack finance due to investing in the IT area, or maybe SMEs had not approached the bank by themselves. Either way, either way, bank should look into this matter to achieve their vision. Now that's it. Do not give advice what to do, how to do. No. Now that is the financial perspective. For 4 marks, that is enough. Come on, all of you can write this. All of you can write this. Be confident. Confidence is the very important element. Okay. And next, we will be moving ahead for the next perspective. And the next perspective is mentioned, that's the customer perspective. Now, whatever the information is given, we will be using that information. And remember the vision of the bank, that is to support the community, charging lower interest rate, providing satisfaction to the customers. That's it. The case should be in my mind. C, customer perspective. Now, number of first time home buyers given a mortgage by the People Bank. The target was 80,000 and it is achieved. You did estimated 80,000 people, home buyers given a mortgage by the bank, and it is the target is achieved. I am writing yes, the target is achieved. Now, what is the percentage? 6 divided by 80 multiplied by 100. That is 7.5 percentage. That is, I'm using the plus sign to indicate the good performance. Okay. Now, number of complaints per thousand customers, they estimated 2 complaints, and the complaints getting reduced. That is also very good. Okay. The complaint levels are very good. That is declining. I estimated 2 complaints per thousand customers, and that complaint level is only 1.5. That is a very big achievement. Okay, what may be the possible reasons? The possible reasons may be that IT security system is better, complaints are getting reduced. It means that the whatever the efforts they had made in the IT department, it's good. Okay, and from this aspect, home buyers, they are in line with their vision. That is to give the mortgaging the home buyers. 80,000 people you had estimated, and you have supported 86,000, which means it may be possible that bank has more concern towards community to support the community. All right. Now I will be discussing these two things later on. What's the thing? Customers perspective. Give the heading, make it bold, and I think now it is much more visible. And even I'm speaking the answer as well. Customer perspective. First of all, what was the thing? Mortgage by the bank to the new homeowners. Mortgage by the bank to new homeowners had increased by 7.5 percentage, which is a good indicator, and well performed to achieve their vision, that is to support the society, and might be more efforts had applied, or might be well publicized. It may be possible. In addition, in addition, the number of complaints per thousand customers had also had also decreased from their target by, now what is the percentage? From 2 to 1.5. It is 0.5 divided by 2 multiplied by 100. That is, you can say 25 percentage. You can say the 25 percentage. Now look, 2 minus 1.5 divided by 2 multiplied by 100. That is 25 percentage. They are performing well against the customer complaints. Look, there is no organization which is not receiving the customer complaints. Obviously, there is something lacking. Uh, Also decreased from their target by 25 percentage. By 25 percentage, in bracket you need to show the calculation. 2 minus 1.5 divided by 2. 2 minus 1.5 divided by 2, and that is good indication of the performance. Good indication of the performance. That is the good indication of the performance, and maybe safe IT system might had lowered the complaints, and customers are satisfied, with the new improved system, and this is in line with their vision. All right, next, the customer perspective is not over yet, and see this thing. Now the next KPIs are very much interesting because these are from the customer perspective. See, number of talking cash points installed for visually impaired people. Talking cash points, it may be possible that they might had installed talking robots. They might had they might had facilitated with the people some through manual exercise for those people who are visually impaired. See, what was their target? The number of talking cash point was 100, and it exceeded by 20 percentage. That is a very good thing. That shows their commitment, their well commitment towards the visually impaired people. And that number of wheelchair ramp means that is a separate space in a bank branches for obviously the disabled people, the separate space in a branch where people who are coming who are using the wheelchairs, they cannot walk properly, so they install the separate space wheelchair ramps. And what was the target? 50, and it was achieved more than the target, and that is 55 minus 50 divided by 50 multiplied by 100, that is obviously giving the 10 percentage, which means that their dedication towards the customer satisfaction is much more appreciable, because they are exceeding their target, they are in line with their mission, they are in line with their vision. Obviously, now look at the thing. Obviously, such kind of facilities will increase the operating cost. Such kind of activities will increase the operating cost, and that may be the reason that the profit had not met their targets. But again, one thing has been achieved: the customer perspective, and that their vision to support the community. Okay, now I am writing the number of talking cash points had increased their target by 20 percentage. In bracket we need to show the calculation, that is 20 upon 100, and the wheelchair ramps in the branches facilitated 10% above the target. Bracket 55 minus 50 divided by 50, which shows their commitment towards their vision and supporting the community and disabled people, and probably due to which operating operating cost might be high, and lowering the profits. And lowering the what? Profits. That's it. Customer perspective had been achieved. They had performed well. They had performed well. Whatever my analysis was, I wrote it down. Now we are moving towards the next perspective, and that is the internal perspective. Internal perspective. Students, see the data. See the data of internal perspective, and that is my internal perspective. Number of process with the people bank re-engineered and simplified. Number of processes, that is good, 10% well above the target. Number of processes simplified, because see their intention was to make the business simple, and they had simplified their targets by 10%. Number of new services, now the target was not met. The target was not met by the percentage is 5 minus 2 divided by 5, that is 60% not met, and that is good. Okay, using the black color I am writing the negative aspect, and using the blue color I am writing the good aspect. Okay, and incidents of fraud on credit cards, they had estimated 10 frauds, and in actual the fraud was 3. That means a very good performance. 70% you've done well. That means IT system is strong. And you might be assuming the zero fraud rate. So listen, fraud can never be eliminated. It can be minimized through a proper system. And they had done well. Okay. Now the carbon dioxide emission. Now you might be thinking that this is not the production company and why it is releasing the carbon dioxide emission. Look, there are a lot of machineries in the bank. They use a big generator. They use AC, and that is the reason to create the carbon dioxide, CO2 emission. Okay, the service industry also release the carbon dioxide. Okay, just imagine of the courier company, if it is using the old vehicles, the engine is not in a proper functional manner, then it will release carbon dioxide. It will create environmental pollution. Now the bank might be using some machines, the new IT machines, that performance is not good. Performance is not good. You estimated 400,000 tons, but you released 430. And if you calculate the percentage, it is 7.5% poor. Okay, now I am writing all these things and the possible reasons. The new IT system might not be environmental friendly. Okay, now what will be the heading? Internal process. Internal process. Internal process. The process is simplified. The process is simplified were 10% above the target. That is 10 upon 100, and that by making the processes simple, they were in a position, they might be in a position, they might be in a position to make, yeah, or to provide easy facility to their customers. Easy facility to their customers. Okay, this area had performed well. Now next, new services available through mobile banking was targeted five new services, and they had introduced only 2 new services. They had only introduced 2 new services from mobile banking perspective. Mobile banking perspective from the target of 5, and that means they are away 60% from the target, and may be possible that to improvise the IT system. It quite may be possible that they might be busy in the IT system and they had not paid attention towards the new elements. It quite may be possible to improvise the IT system. They had not paid attention towards the new services. And next, incidents, the fraud rate has been very low from the target, and carbon dioxide emission is very high. Okay, now I am writing these things. Uh, the fraud rate was lower than the target by 70 percentage, that is 7 upon 10, that is 7 upon 10. And that new IT system, new IT services, new IT improvements, you can write new IT improvements made the system more safe and secure, and in future the fraud rates may be further reduced. And yet this is the good strength and makes the customers satisfied. But on the other hand, the CO2, carbon dioxide emission, was higher than the target, which is by which percentage? 7.5 percentage, which is 7.5 percentage. That is 430 minus 400 divided by 400. And that new IT system is not environmentally friendly. And the bank should also focus on this aspect, which is also the matter of reputation. Reputation and public health as well. Now, that is what I had covered, all the 4 points. Internal process. All right. Now, we are moving towards the next area, and the final area of this question is, now the final area of this question is learning and growth. See that learning and growth, I am now removing all these unnecessary markings so that we can only focus on learning and growth area. Now this is the learning and growth area. Come on, look into the KPIs which they had mentioned. Come on, allow yourself 1 minute. Just look into this area. Okay, now students, I am reading these KPIs, and just look into these matters. number of colleagues trained to provide advice to SMEs. That is from 1500 was this area is the target. Okay, this is the target which we know. This is the target, and now look into the KPI figures. Look, what was the thing? Number of colleagues trained to provide SMEs. Number of colleagues trained. It was targeted to train 1500 staff, and you have only trained 1300 staff. That how to deal with SMEs. It may also be the reason that the SME target was not met due to lack of trained staff. You can link that KPIs that employees were not well trained against the target, that is the 1500, and the target was only achieved, that is 1300. So which is obviously lower, and that is lower by 10 percentage. 200 divided by 1500 no, it's 13.3 percentage. Sorry, it's 13.3 percentage that they were less than the target. Okay, now see the next figure. Number of hours, number of hours used to support community projects, that is from 1000 to 1020. 1000 minus 1020 divided by 1000 multiplied by 100, that is 2% good, which means number of time that they had spent, number of hours that they had spent used to support the community projects. They had increased the mortgages as well. Okay, so I am writing from here learning and growth. Learning and growth. Now students, from learning and growth perspective, from learning and growth perspective, we will be starting from the colleagues trained. The number of colleagues trained were less than the target by 13.3 percentage, and that is 1500 minus 1300 bracket close divided by 1500. They were less than 13.5, and possibly due to which they had not achieved the target to lend to SMEs, and this is the area where the bank had lacked. Okay, where the bank had lacked. The reason for this should be investigated by them for future. For future. Next, what is the next? The number of hours that they had increased, that is the 2 percentage. The number of hours to, the better word is to serve the community projects. To serve the community projects were increased by 2 percentage, that is 1020 minus 1000 divided by 1000 divided by 1000, and that they had better performed against target and in line with their vision to support the community, and that they had achieved, comma, good performance in this area, full stop. Next, there are just two things left for this learning and growth perspective. Now see, number of trainee positions by the candidates of, this is the name of the country. Okay, number of trainee positions, they had estimated 2000 trainee positions, like a trainee accountant in their bank. They had estimated 2000, and in actual they had achieved 1990, and that the trainee positions were not up to the mark. The only 10 people left. So 10 divided by 2000 multiplied by 100, this is only 0.5 percentage poor. It might not be well advertised. The people might not be interested to work in a bank, for example, from most disadvantaged areas. Okay, next. The number of community organizations supported either through funding or by volunteer from the People Bank. The number of community organizations supported, like the organizations which existed for the community, they had targeted 7,000 organizations for the support, and that it well achieved 7250. That is well above the target. And it may be possible that they have invested sufficient amount of time. You can now connect this thing sufficient amount of time with this thing. All right. So the number of trainee positions taken up by the candidates were just 0.5% away from the target. That from the target, you need to show the calculation as well. 2000 minus 1990 divided by 2000, and that is not a severe critic, and may be possible it might not be well advertised, or even people might not be interested. People might not be interested. Okay, it quite may be possible. It quite may be possible. Now, and then what was the next impressive sign? That they supported, number of community organizations supported, which is well above the target. And if I calculate the percentage, that is 7250 minus 7000 divided by 7000 multiplied by 100, it is 3.5 percentage, approximately 3.57 percentage. You can say that's 3.6 percentage, well above the target number of community organizations supported. And the number of community organizations supported were 3.6 percentage higher than the target. Now show the calculation. 7250 minus 7000 divided by 7000, and that may be possible due to spending more hours than the targeted hours, than the target hours. They had supported more community organizations and seems to be achieving their vision. Again, the bank had performed well in this area. Now, students do not see the quantity of the answer. Please look into the quality of the answer that did I answered all of these things? What happened? Sir, this happened, the ratio getting increased or decreased. Why happened? So this may be the possible reason. Good or poor? Sir, it's good. Appreciating words. It's poor. Warn them that this might be the dangerous effects. Do not give the advice. Just do not give the advice. Now, come on, students. Tell me whether did you understand the balance scorecard model? Hurry up. Did you people understand that balance scorecard model? Write your feedback in this comment box. All clear? Very well. Okay. What about rest of the other students? Please write something here. Okay. That's good. That is good. Okay, then this is the balance scorecard model. I will be sharing this. I will be converting in a PDF format and will be sending to you people on the WhatsApp. I guess the WhatsApp group link might have been shared in the comment box, in the question box, or you people can even contact me, drop your message, WhatsApp to me, then I will be adding you in the WhatsApp group. Students, now there is another model which is building block model. Building block model. Are you ready, students, for the building block model? Are you ready, students? Okay, people are demanding for the break. Uh, okay, Azhar Abbas, I will be sharing my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number +923333113959. This is my number. Just drop your message F5 webinar. Okay, students are demanding for the break, but I will give the break. Don't worry about that. But after the description of this model, students, because after the break I will be solving the CRQ in a slightly different manner. Okay, the building block model. Just have a look on the building block model, and the building block model is mainly used for service business. Now see, there are three blocks. What do you mean by exactly the term block? What do you mean by exactly the term block? Block means just like the apartment, we can say there's a block 1, block 2, block 3. In the areas, there are three blocks in the building block model. These two areas are part of the system, and part of the system means good system in the services. Good system in the services. Now that is not as such important to discuss, but important thing to discuss is the dimensions of performance. Dimension means areas to assess the performance. Areas to assess the performance. Areas to assess the performance. Now, students, remember the balance scorecard model. The balance scorecard model had four perspectives. The balance scorecard model had four perspectives. Now, the building block model has six perspectives. Number one, number two, number three, number four, number five, and number six. They had got six perspectives, and I am writing their KPIs. Obviously, the number one is financial ratio. Simple is financial ratios. Simply financial ratios. Number two. Number two is the competitiveness. Competitiveness means we versus competitor. And how can you measure how well I am against my competitor? Is that customer percentage? We can say market share, or you can say conversion rate. Conversion rate means queries into sales. How many queries they had and how many queries I have, and the number of customers converted. Financial and competitiveness. Number three, number three area is the quality. Obviously, quality shows customer satisfaction. Quality shows customer satisfaction. And how will you measure customer satisfaction? If my customer is satisfied, they will come back to me. That is known as the retention percentage. Customer feedbacks. Customer feedbacks. Now, this is something to measure the qualitative aspects. Flexibility. What do you mean by the term flexibility? Flexibility means adapting the change. Adapting the change means whenever the requirement is getting changed, you need to adjust yourself. This is known as the flexibility. And according to the changing situation, according to the changing situation, you might be adjusting to your time. So we can say time per service. You can say time per service because time per service as per the situation. As per the situation. Innovation. Innovation we had already covered in balance scorecard. That's something new, and that new element would be judged by success rates of new service. And the better indicator is that percentage of revenue from new service divided by total sales. And number six is the resource utilization. Now, what are the resources? In the service business, the ultimate important resource is the human resource. Humans, piece of land. Now, how can I measure my performance from the resource utilization is sales per staff. Sales revenue per staff. That is, staff is my resource and how much revenue I am collecting from each staff member. Now that are the dimensions. That are the dimensions. I'm just I'm just waiting for 10 seconds for you people to capture this. or copy whatever is convenient to you. The slides will be shared. Don't worry about that slides. Okay, students, these are the 6 parameters. These are the 6 dimensions of the building block model. And now we will be doing CRQ. We will be doing CRQ. It's time for CRQ on the, it's the time for CRQ. Now let's have a break of 5 to 7 minutes break, because C, don't take too much breaks, because it's your own paper, it's your own time, it's your own money which you had paid for the paper. Okay, so realize this is the time can never come back. Okay, so come soon, students, come soon within 5 to 7 minutes. And for those who are not having my number, I'm again writing my number, that is +92 333 311 3959 3959. Just drop your message on WhatsApp. Just write F5 webinar, nothing else, and I will be adding to the group. Okay. Now take the break. Now break starts. Okay, students, we are back from the break, and all of you are here. All of you are here. Show your presence. Show your presence in the chat box. Okay. Hello, all of you. No, the webinar is still in progress. It's not ended. Am I audible and screen is all clear? Hello. Okay. Now I am continuing with this webinar. Now, students, look, we had covered balance scorecard, and now we are about to solve. We are about to solve the next question, and those who texted me for the for the WhatsApp group, I had sent them link, and it is the link is which I have sent. Join that link. You will be added in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Now, students, I am starting the next question, which is on the which will be on the building block model. Okay. Now that is building block model, and building block model it worth 16 marks. Students, just see that the question worth 16 marks. Now, first of all, you need to have a thorough attention towards the requirement, and this question will be solved in a different manner. What I will be doing right now, I will be using the rough sheets. I will be using rough sheets, and then I will be making arrows and calculating percentages and writing in a bullet manner. And then you are required to convert all these raw points into the well sentenced. And now I've got confidence on you people that you can do that. Now this is again one stop car company, and this is also the recent past paper. Okay, this the question was examined in September 2018. You can check from your official exam kits and from ACCA past exam papers. Now see students, this is the area we have to use the building block model. I am reading the requirement, and since we have to finish this requirement, see, for each of the dimensions of building block model, comma, calculate one performance indicator for MSc and one for OSc using the data available. Next, briefly justify your choice of performance indicator and discuss MSc performance relative to other OSc service centers. Excuse me, students, the question had asked you three things. Number one, calculate performance indicator, justify your choice, that why did you calculate it, that is specific percentage, and discuss the performance. Now, in each heading, you are required to discuss for three things. That is the ratio, and that is your choice of performance indicator, and then discuss the MSc performance. Okay. Now, students, I will be using that rough sheets for this answer, and you are required to convert into a detailed sentence. Number one perspective is the financial perspective. No, first of all, I would like to explain you what is the requirement that was being asked. In every perspective, you have to write three things. That is ratio, number one, and then your choice of ratio, and then discuss on performance, and discussion on the performance, and discussion on performance. Now, three things you should use in your paragraph. And number one is the financial performance. Number one is financial. I will write the ratio. I will explain the choice of your ratio, and I will comment on the ratio. But that will be the bullet point manner. And you people are required to convert into a detailed sentence. Uh, Next, this is the question. This is the question. No, I should not. Okay. Now, friends, see this. One-stop car company offers a range of services for car owners for its 55 service centers across the country. Now, this is the car service stations. The company has got 55 service stations across the country, and that the car maintenance is extremely competitive in all regions across the country. Each service center operates autonomously, and managers are able to choose how to package their service, which means that each center is allowed how to deliver the service. And OSC companies' aim is to make the task of the car maintenance a pleasure and not a chore. Its national website states the following. C. What are their assertions? Number one, range of service packs available including express service and full valet. This is the car service stations and which provides a valet service as well. Next, while we work while you wait, with average wait time only 2 hours. What is the statement written? They are claiming that they are only allowing themselves for 2 hours, and customers are being asked to wait for 2 hours. It's their national website states. OSC is the name of the company which has got 55 service centers. All right. Watch our friendly, experienced mechanics producing high quality work, freshly made tea and coffee, and free internet in our comfortable lounges. While the customers are there, they are offering free tea and coffee and internet service for customers to pass their time. And the last monthly free prize draw for all the completing online feedback forms, etc. Now, what is the comparator? Now, see, OSC average 55 centers. OSC average 55 centers, and MSc is the specific center. MSc is the specific center whose performance is to be assessed. All right. Now, results of one of the service centers, the Midland Service Center for the year has just ended, etc., etc. We missed this important area. Actually, I missed this intentionally because when the time will come, I will refer this highlighted area. Now, these are the comparative results. This is my concern company, MSc, whose performance is to be assessed. All right. Now, just look into the financial figures. Look into the figures. Students, look into the figures. Hurry up. Look into the figures. The revenue, the gross profit. I'm allowing you only 1-2 minutes just to look at the figures and analyze in your brain. Compare MSc versus OSC. These are the car station. These are the average 55 centers, and MSc is my concern center. Okay, now I am comparing their performance and will be in a position to discuss something. Now, students, it is clearly mentioned customers initially access the national website. See, customers initially access the national website, but depending upon their location, they are automatically redirected to the website of their nearest service center so that they can view offer available at that center. For example, in your city, you are supposed to make a booking, which is clearly mentioned that all the bookings are made through OSC website. You are now required to book your service facility through the website, and you are supposed to access the national website, and then tracing with your location, they will be automatically redirected towards the nearest available center. Okay, the nearest available center will automatically be visible to your mobile phone when you will access through the national website. Okay, then next, move ahead. These are the notes. Hurry up, go through the notes. Instead, I should read it. Okay. Mechanics are classified as senior if they have been qualified for more than 5 years. Now, these are the junior mechanics. Okay. This is the very important lines. Number 3 and number 4. The MSc introduced 3 new service packs during the year. 3 new service packs during the year, and that free valet for orders over 100, a safety check costing 20 instead of usual 40 for all the customers booking at a full service. Number 3, $10 air conditioning efficiency check, which usually costs 20 for all the customers booking an oil change. Uh, at MSc, they are charging lower rates. Students, just go through these number 3 and number 4 line as well by yourself. Just read what is written. Just read number 3 and number 4. Don't read this thing. I'm allowing you 1 minute to read this thoroughly. Okay, now I am going through this, and this is written the 3 new service packs produced revenues, whereas the comparable new services pack developed by other centers only 2, and online feedback form asked with 10 being the best. Okay, now students, we have to use 6 dimensions, and 6 dimensions we need to calculate. We need to have a discussion from 3 areas, that is ratio, choice of ratio, discussion on the performance. Okay, now from the financial perspective, sorry, now from the financial perspective, just wait a minute. Okay, now the 2 screens will be visible. Now from the financial perspective, which ratio I need to calculate? I need to calculate the gross profit margin. Why gross profit margin? Why gross profit margin? Why? Gross profit margin, you will calculate by yourself. I'm just guiding you. Gross profit margin, why? Because this is the only information which is allowed, which is the only information available. Now, students, We had solved the TIP question yesterday. I did send the video lecture on non-financial performance as well in the WhatsApp group. And lastly, we solved balance scorecard. Now you should be in a position to discuss the performance. Okay, now capture this thing or write this thing. Number one, you will need to calculate the GP margin. Don't worry about the answer. The well written answer which I wrote, I will be sharing with you people. Don't worry about that. It will be shared in the WhatsApp group. Now GP margin, because it's the only information available, and performance you need to calculate. Number two is the competitiveness. 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 Now, which ratio is suitable to you people? Competitiveness. Excuse me. Everyone in the chat box, please show your presence and write which ratio is more suitable. Come on, students. Which ratio is suitable? No, competitiveness. No, 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 no. No. Number of new service pack you are writing. This is the innovation. This is the innovation new service. Competitiveness, no. No. Now listen. Competitiveness, no. Number of repeated, no. Repeated customer shows the quality. It does not show the competitiveness. Repeated customer shows the quality. See, I mentioned it. I mentioned it. Now, I will be mentioning that competitiveness. Competitiveness means uh, you versus competitor. You versus competitor, and the best ratio from the available information is, you need to calculate for both ratios. Okay, that is, you can say the website hits and number of jobs booked and completed. You will need to calculate this ratio. Conversion ratio, number of queries into sales. That is what the ratio name is. From website conversion from website, that is a good indicator. Why? Because because against the available query, how many conversion rate I will be able to convert as a customer. This shows the market share. Why? Because this shows the market share. So conversion from website is a good indicator. Now you will be able to discuss the performance. Hurry up, capture this. Hurry up, capture this. Note down this. Number three. Number three is the quality. Number three area is the quality. Now, which ratio might be suitable for the quality? The ratio. See, I already mentioned that quality is something which impresses the customer, and if the customer is impressed, he or she will come back to you. So that is the repeated customers. 1500 divided by 9506. Okay, now I am guiding you how to solve this question. This is the repeated customers from the total customers, 1500 upon 9506. And similarly, you will need to calculate the ratio of this. So quality shows the repeated customers. What will be the ratio? The ratio will be the repeated customers. Why? Why? The reason is because it shows customers satisfaction. You have to talk for three things: ratio, reason, and discuss on performance. All right. So for quality, you need to calculate the ratio repeated customers percentage. That is repeat upon total customers. Repeat customers upon total customers. You need to calculate that ratio. Come on, hurry up. Note down this. Now, number fourth is the flexibility. Flexibility. See, I will be opening the lecturing slide as well. Lecturing slide as well. See this thing. I can show you. See, flexibility, that is the time per service. I already mentioned here. You should have these ratios as well. Time per service. So here we need to calculate time per service. That is, see what am I doing? Time per service. Total time is spent 23,100, and total number of jobs which you had completed, that is 9506. That is time per job. The ratio will be for both MSc and OSc. You need to calculate time per job. Now the time per job is the best indicator. Why? What is the reason behind that? Because according to the situation, the time gets changed. According to the situation, comma, the time changes. And you have to discuss on the performance as well. You have to discuss on the performance as well. Flexibility. Flexibility means how flexible you are, how flexible you are able to manage the time according to the given scenario. So time per job is the best indicator, because according to the given situation, time changes. Now what you are supposed to do, you have to give the heading, and you have to write in this desirable manner. For example, just listen to my words. I'm just giving a very quick demo of flexibility. For example, you calculated this ratio and you say that this ratio is best suitable because according to the given situation, the time per job gets changed, and you have to compare this thing. Just write 2 lines for the reason and the ratio and the performance discussion, which I had already taught how to comment on the performance. Now, moving for the next. Moving for the next, flexibility, and the fifth indicator was, see this thing, innovation, and then resource utilization. You have to write 3 things which I had mentioned earlier. Innovation, and the best ratio is, you need to calculate ratio for both, for MSc and OSc both, and the ratio is revenue from new service out of total service, the percentage. Why? What is the reason? What is the reason of this ratio? The reason is this: it shows the success rate. It shows the what? It shows the success rate. It shows the success rate. And then you have to discuss on the performance. Okay, just note down the ratio, and Find the figures. This is in the last. New service packs. And the last thing, which is the resource utilization for this building block model. Number 6. Number 6 is the resource utilization. It is the resource utilization, and you need to calculate the ratio which may be beneficial, that is sales per staff. Now the reason behind that, because humans are important asset in the service industry, and that you have to discuss and comment on performance. Sales per staff. Look at the data, you can easily calculate. This is the revenue figure and this is the total number of staff. Total number of staff. Here 12, here 13. Total number of staff. The combination of senior and junior staff. Give me the expected answer that you will calculate and you will, yes, Mr. Jawad Said. Mr. Jawad Said, steps are same as we did in yesterday lecture. Yes, exactly. Please give me the positive response. You will solve this. You will solve this. Hello. Yes, we will. Fatma Khan, sir, please do this question in detail. It's tough. I know, but I am giving you the idea, and you are supposed to write this thing. Aisha Musani, I will share the answer as well. I will share the answer as well. Okay, that's pretty much good that people are writing. I can do this. Okay, you can do that. And one student was saying, sir, do this question in detail, because as far as the limited time availability, I am guiding this, but I am not ignoring this question. You need to do this. I will surely share the answer in the WhatsApp group as well. Now students, I have got what? Okay, Jawad said I will share it. Students, I there is something good news for someone, and for some it may be the poor news. We will exceed today's webinar by 15 to 20 minutes more. Is it okay? Fine. So that I can also discuss VFM. Is it okay? Okay. Uh, no problem. No problem. No problem. Okay, yes, sir. And I can measure that. I can measure that approximately 80% of the students, 80% of the students are saying, yes, sir. Okay, proceed. See that I am cooperating with you people with more extra time, so that it is in your favor. Okay, it is in your favor, because you are here to learn, and what I can do best I can deliver. Okay, now see, for those students who are arguing for the extended class, see, this is in your favor. This is your own paper, your own time, your own money, and I am ready to give you extra time. You should appreciate that. Okay, now students, I am going to discuss something on VFM, value for money. VFM, that is value for money. That what do you mean by exactly the term value for money? Now see, value for money is an important model which is used in public sectors. Public sector means government organizations, and not for profit organization means just like NGOs. VFM includes three things: economy, efficiency, effectiveness. Economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Now listen, first of all, you should need to understand the things what is actually economy is. Economy, I have got the rough slide, the plain paper to make you people understand. First of all, you input the resources, you input the resources, then you will be in a position to process. Process means using the resources, and obviously the time comes of the output. Output is my result. Output is my what? Result. Now what do you mean by term input resources means? uh, it is concerned with economy. It is concerned with what? Economy. They say that lowest price, lowest price at lowest price. Economy means that obtain the resources at the lowest possible price. Economy means obtaining the resources at the lowest possible price. And when you will be using that resources, that should be efficient. They should be what? Efficient. Now this is the internal process, which means efficiency will be measured by wastage rate, that should be low, idle time percentage, that should be low, and that ultimately cost per unit should be low. And what do you mean by the term output? That is effectiveness. Effectiveness is actually the measure whether the target output was achieved or not. Whether the target output was achieved. Input means the resources which you are arranging for your NGO, for your business, that should be at the lowest possible price. And when you will be in a position to use that resources, that should be gently, the wastage and idle time should be reduced, and ultimately cost per unit will be reduced. And the output shows the result, that is effectiveness, whether the target output is achieved or not. Now that is something, the effectiveness, economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Now look at the written definition. What is economy? Economy, it involves input of the resources should be at the lowest possible price, but quality and quantity should not be compromised. What do you mean by the term efficiency? That means available resources less on per unit. Remember this thing, less on per unit. The resources should be used less on per unit. And the effectiveness means measure whether the target output was achieved or not. You just have to assess whether the target was achieved or not. Economy is totally concerned with input. This is concerned with processing, and this is concerned with the output. That's using, that's input. And that I have written here, input means economy, that should be at the lowest possible prices, whatever the resources which you are using. Processing means efficiently, and output means desired objectives. Now students, there is a question BLA which is worth 12 marks, and I will just explain the question. 12 marks. If you will divide by 3, that means 4 for each. That means economy for 4 marks, efficiency for 4 marks, effectiveness is for 4 marks. Okay. Now, explain how the value for money provision of waste service should be assessed by suggesting and calculating justified performance indicator. Don't worry, students, I'll not burdenize you since you are also a human being. It's your mental capacity, but just look at the question and its thorough understanding so that you will be able to I know you are exceeding your capacity, and I just aim to give you some idea about this case study. Please download this case study as well. Just listen to the case study, the story. Forget this thing. Forget this thing. Just listen to the case study. This is the B Shire Local Authority, BLA. This is a local authority, and what is their purpose? The purpose is basically to collect the waste. The purpose is to what? Collect the waste. They need to collect the waste. So, what am I doing? What am I doing? The question name is BLA. The question name is BLA, that is on VFM topic. What is basically BLA, B Share Local Authority? I am just giving you a thorough introduction of this case. BLA aims to streets, clean the streets, their purpose. Okay, they have got resources, and the two major resources they have got, number one is the vehicles to get the streets clean, and the human resource, I'm just making a sketch of this case study. BLA is basically the local authority whose purpose is to clean the streets. All right, and they are using the resources, vehicles and human resources, in order to collect the waste. And what is their target? Their target is 40% of waste to be recycled. 40% of the wastage to be recycled. 40% of the waste to be recycled. It is their target. Just note down this thing, students. I'm writing it for you people. Their target is 40% of wastage to be recycled. This is the well written in all these big paragraphs. And when you will look at these figures, whenever you will look at these figures, you need to calculate the percentages. Now, how will you assess BLA performance using VFM? Now see what are the parameters. What you need to do. Number one, economy. Economy. First, explain economy. First, explain what? Economy. Then, compare the cost. Compare the cost of input. What cost of input? Now, you need to calculate the cost of vehicles, salary of staff, because usually the local authority or the NGO might be using the staff on voluntary basis. So that you need to calculate the cost of vehicles, the salary of staff. Hurry up, note down this. Next, after economy, you will need to calculate. After economy, you will need to calculate number 2, efficiency. Now, efficiency, remember my words, it is always measured on per unit. And for efficiency, I recommend you to calculate cost per staff, waste collected per staff. These are the good ratio. And then you will be able to write. That is the efficiency always measured on per unit. Cost per staff, wastage per staff, waste collected per staff. That how how many tons each staff had collected the waste in order to clean the streets. And then finally the effectiveness. Finally the effectiveness. Number 3, effectiveness. Students, what do you mean by the term effectiveness? Means whether the target was achieved or not. Achieved or not. So see the percentage of waste collected, because their target was 40% target, and calculate the ratio whether the 40% achieved or not, and see whether the streets are cleaned. The 40% target was to collect the waste, and their main objective is to keep the streets clean. Now you have to look into the performance measure whether the streets are cleaned or not by their efforts. Now this is something effectiveness. This is something effectiveness. The steps are the steps are same which I taught in the last questions. No, cost per staff is not the economy. Cost there's a cost per staff is not the economy. There's a salary given to each person is the economy. Yes, Mr. Jawad, you will be able to follow those steps which I had mentioned. Students, give me your feedback. Did you understand that? Don't worry about the solution. I will be sharing all of these stuffs. Please give your remarks here. All right. Shall I expect you will be able to write? Say yes, you will write. Say yes. Okay. Efficiency means, I'm explaining the efficiency once again. Efficiency means, students, efficiency means something or measurement on per unit. Efficiency means something measurement on per unit. That is how efficient you are. You can also measure like that way. Time per streets cleaned. In how many hours I did clean the streets. Time per streets. This is efficiency, always measure on per unit. Okay, guys. I hope the session was interactive today as well. Okay, I am opening that slide of economy. The one student was asking for the economy. Just see and capture this. and the questions are available here. You can download, or I will also be sharing in the WhatsApp group. Now once again, I am uh, I am sharing this my number. If anyone wants to be connected in the WhatsApp group, contact me at this number. Okay, this is the number, and I will be adding you in the WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you so much, Fawaz Fasi, for your valuable feedback. Aisha Musani, I will be sharing that building block model question as well. When you will read my words, you will be able to recall the way that I had taught in the class. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. When you will go through the answer, you will understand that. Okay? Okay? Okay. Okay, students. Now this is the session is getting end. Thank you so much for your valuable feedbacks, all of you. I'm seeing your valuable feedbacks. Uh, but the ultimate feedback will be that you should be able to pass the paper with shining score. Okay, that will be a great achievement. Yes, the recording will be available. Okay, great. Now I am ending the session. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, and take care of your study. Bye. Allah Hafiz.